From portable distress flares to general life make it easiers. Here's 8 mountain biking habits you should get into. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you 8 mountain biking habits that you guys should get into to basically make your life quite a lot easier when you're going out on rides. Some things that you should do before and after that will help you in the future, and just general biking things that you should be doing. So let's get into it with number 1. Imagine this, you're biking along and you hear how annoying, you've got a puncture and you're in the middle of nowhere, but no worries, you've watched this video. So this brings us on to number 1. Right, the first habit of the video is what I like to call the portable distress beacon flare firework extraordinaire. This is going to prove extremely useful if, for example, you're stuck out in the middle of a field somewhere, you have no idea how to get home, it's getting dark, you need to get people's attention. What you're going to need to perform this maneuver is a working slingshot like this, a firecracker and a working lighter, and then simply all you do is you put the firecracker in the slingshot like this and you hold it and you light the firecracker, toss that to a side, whoopee, and there you go. And I'm sure loads of people heard that, and I'm sure rescue is on the way. So yeah, let's move on to number 2. The next habit is a body positioning sort of thing that you should all be doing when you're riding a bike. That is basically having one finger only on each of your brakes, and that is because the more fingers you're actually taking off the grips to put on the brakes, the less sort of control you're going to have over your handlebars. When you start getting into death sections, it's actually going to help you lose control and not gain it. I know that personally I find it hard to keep just one finger on the brake when I'm going down really death stuff. It always feels like 2 fingers can make you brake a little bit better, but if we're honest, it isn't hard to pull a brake lever real hard with just one finger. So if you think about it, if you're trying to turn like this as opposed to this, then it's obviously going to be a little bit more difficult to actually control the bike. So try your best, especially beginners, I was guilty of it as well, to just use one finger on each brake because you don't need more than that. Sick. Habit number 2 is to have your feet up and in on the pedals when you're tackling super death, bumpy, downhilly sections, or even round a real tight berm. Basically what I mean by that is having your feet, rather than this, like this on the pedals, you're going to want to have your heels on the pedals, and you're going to want to be thinking of it as driving your feet into the pedals and down to the floor, rather than like resting on the pedals and using the pedals as your sort of guide, if that makes sense. More control when you're dug in like that, and more ability to push into like death sort of pumpy bits where you need to get a little bit extra speed, and then you'll end up really cool like me. Oh man, I'm pretty scared about this trail. It looks super gnarly. Wait, what's this trail like, man? Yeah, it's easy, mate. Just a couple of drops, a few roots, send it. Number 6 is really going to bring out the inner bike mechanic in you. Not very mechanic-y, but it's a little bit techy and can get confusing. Obviously, as you know, different bike parks are going to have different sort of trails. Some are going to be more jumpy, some are going to be super bumpy, and some are going to be real downhill. What you should be doing, according to the trails you're riding, if you're on a bike like this, is adjusting the compression and rebound of both the front and back shocks. Basically what this does, a brief rundown, rebound is how quick the shock returns to its normal state once it's hit a bump, and compression, in really basic details, basically controls how soft your forks are. What I like to do is, if I'm riding a place like Wind Hill and I'm going on one of the downhilly lines, I'll click back my compression towards the minus way. That'll give my forks a little bit more of a softer feel. It'll help me be able to glide over the rooty, bumpy sections way easier. Also with that sort of thing, typically you want a little bit quicker rebounds. If you want to click that up 1 or 2, just because it's going to help the shock return a bit quicker and you'll be able to use some more travel for the next bump. On the contrary, if you're riding jumpy trails, you're going to want to have your rebound on the rear especially pretty slow, because if you have it too fast, some jumps can kick you right over the bars if you've got that set up wrong. And probably stiffen up the forks with the compression towards plus if you can do that, or if you can't, just put a little bit more air in. That is number 6. Habit number 5 is more of a thing that you should be bringing out however involved you are in mountain biking, whether you're leading the squad, part of the squad, or just the designated cameraman for the day. What you really should be bringing out is one of these. It's a crappy sticker, I know, but this is a mini first aid kit, and inside it is obviously all the essential gear for first aiding. For example, bandages, plasters, you've got these sick alcohol wipes which help clean cuts if you've got a wide open cut, which is obviously going to be useful if you're biking out in some local trails, which tends to be away from civilization, away from any doctors or hospitals, and you need to tend to your own crash injuries yourself. And yeah, it's just generally useful and generally something that you should get in to bring it out all the time. Oh man, I'm so tired. I've only been doing this loop for, what, 2 hours? Wow, it's 4 o'clock. I've got 3 hours of light left. I've got no energy left. Wish I'd brought something out that could have given me a quick pick-me-up. So annoyed. Right then, habit number 6. Bring your favourite energy drink out on every ride you go on. Because imagine it gets to 4 o'clock and you're so tired. You just need a quick pick-me-up. I like this drink, Excite. My sponsor, super sick, taste amazing, but you guys might like Monty, Red Bull, Relentless, whatever you want to drink. Bring it out, it'll help. Man, I'm so late. I'm in so much trouble. Hope the bike's working fine. Oh, everything's loose. Epic, I'm gonna be so late now. The final habit you should get into is tightening your bolts after you've had your ride. Most people say that you should sort of check over your bike before you go out the road, but I actually think that if you do it after the one you've just had, then you don't have to think about it the next morning when you want to go out for riding, or maybe you bike to work or something, and just think about if you're like late and you haven't checked over your bike. And just imagine like your front wheel's loose and you go to pop a quick wheelie out the road and it falls off and you go over the bars and die. I know a lot of people forget, I forget. I'm quite a prime example of forgetting, but when I remember, I like to do it sort of once I've finished, you know, having my biking done for the day. So that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you liked the sort of few actually useful habits, and then the other ones that are just sort of jokey around, especially the firecracker in the air. That's literally ridiculous. And yeah, hope you had or are having a good day, and see you in the next one.
I just wanna have some fun.